And I'm pretty sure that's my cue to say we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the 7:30 half hour on a Tuesday evening. You could be anywhere in the world, and you are here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Relentless Weebs, your one-stop shop for all topics anime community, anime convention, basically all things nerdy related to this whole world here. We're your hosts, Shelby McWeeb and Andrew J. Landy. Shelby, how are we doing today?
Today's a good day to have OTAQUEST on the show. That didn't answer your question. I'm fine.
No, that's a totally terrific answer because it is a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, we have OTAQUEST here in the studio, like one major part of it.
One of them.
Yeah.
One major part.
Yeah,
but
the other guy that I do this with is in Japan right now. Sorry he couldn't be here. So is today a better day than other days? Like is it that today's a great day and other days wouldn't be a great day to be here?
let's put it this way. We didn't have to use our AK.
Oh, good answer.
Yes.
Good answer.
So, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, if you are watching again, do us that huge favor. Make sure you've shared out the stream, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get that link out. Share it out with your friends. If you guys have questions about OTAQUEST, what's going on, what's it going to be like there, anything that's happened at past events, let us know in the chat. Also, let us know that you are in here, too. I do see Brianna DeCoster, Risa Light, who was also a previous guest in here, Terrence Pryor, Greg Hammer, and Norman Locke, all joining in the chat. So again, let us know that you're in here. And again, if you have any questions that you'd like to pose to any of us, especially if they are OTAQUEST themed, that's definitely where you want to go.
There'll be a cool Annie Song event on the 8th of June in Little Tokyo
Oh.
at 10:30. So go there.
Really?
It's called Annie Crush. Look it up.
Annie Crush.
OTAQUEST.
OTACrush.
OTACrush.
Close.
Annie Crush. OTACrush. Annie Crush is a party in Akihabara. That's why I get
What?
it mixed up all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I get it mixed up constantly.
Bring in
Oh.
the Annie Crush here.
Yeah.
Little Tokyo.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. But yes.
Saturday.
Yeah, OTACrush. It's at Jungle, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Jungle, I believe it starts at 8:30 and also coincides. It's like right towards the end of Ronin Expo, so you can actually like make a day of it on Saturday. Go to Ronin Expo for the majority of it, and then if you like, go over to Jungle, which is in the Little Tokyo area, and head up to OTACrush and have a wonderful grand time. I believe our former guest Risa actually, she was the one that talked about it. So hey, there's like a lot of crossover here.
Speaking of words, we are not sponsored by Monster, but we were all thirsty.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I'm trying to keep mine off the camera, except for when I want to drink.
You're totally fine. Oh, Antonio DeCastro has just joined us. What's going on, Antonio? So again, folks, yeah, we're talking a little bit of OTAQUEST tonight. If you've been on the internet and you've been looking at events that are happening around the July 4th weekend time,
In Los Angeles.
in Los Angeles, that is a very,
Specifically.
Very important.
very important.
Just Google July 4th. What do I do?
Yeah, but Eddie here, if I may reference you, as a huge purveyor of all things music, and happens to be a very huge specialist on this stuff. And tell us a little bit about OTAQUEST and how this all got started.
So OTAQUEST is a multimedia project that I started with Taku Takahashi from m-flo a couple of years back, and we had been bringing him out for shows in America at conventions for a few years. And one day, him and I were taking a road trip actually across country because he had a booking in Wisconsin of all places.
What?
Yeah, and so we were like on a train from Wisconsin to Chicago, and there was this discussion about like kind of what the convention culture is like and how, not everybody can make it to every con. And even though there's a convention every single week of the year now at this point, there's a lot of like missed opportunities for creators in Japan to interact with people in the States. And the initial idea for what we were doing was to make it easier for the creators that we knew and also people we were connected to through Taku's like relationships with everybody to interface with fans in the US. So like we kind of started out doing things with like Studio Bones and like we did early interviews with Shinichiro Watanabe and a bunch of other people. And eventually it evolved into something where we could promote Japanese pop culture like direct from the source.
Really?
Like
Okay.
we're based in Tokyo. The majority of our staff is in Tokyo. And what we're trying to do is bring like that Shibuya, Tokyo kind of like cool culture to America.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was so good that you actually almost knocked Shelby out of her seat. Just letting you know that.
That was only me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to take your credit, but I was just like,
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear, sweet Lord. So you were with again, folks. If you talk with Takahashi of m-flo,
Yeah.
So I was not. First of all, I wasn't even privy to this information before. I literally just found this out big m-flo fan, I'm not gonna lie. So that, like, just hearing that, you already know the quality of what you're hearing. So that's quite amazing. Shelby, I understand you had a
More
whole
questions.
yeah, believe it or not. So I'm gonna turn it to you. Yeah.
I think one thing to talk about is like people don't know m-flo. You can also. I was listening to the Persona 5 Dancing All Night soundtrack.
Oh yeah, Taku's got a remix.
And
on
Taku
that.
did a remix.
I
for
think
that.
he did a remix for Bandvox did a remix on the last one. Taku did a remix for the new one, but I think he's doing like he does a lot of different game work. And like if you're an anime person, like he was the guy who produced the Panty and Stocking soundtrack. Everybody credits Teddy Lloyd for it, but kind of he was the reason Teddy Lloyd was on that soundtrack. Like Taku was like kind of the man behind it. He did some music for Space Dandy and like a few other shows as well.
Okay.
So
Sorry, I definitely thought there was a Panty and Stocking figure up there, but there's not.
We were
just pretend. Pretend.
So
Photoshop one in.
you've probably like heard his music in one way or another. And then like in regards to m-flo stuff, it's actually cool because I think of m-flo as like the most international Japanese band because they like rap and sing in both English and Japanese. Taku and Verbal went to school in America. And like they're very conscious about the US market. And even though like last year was their first time performing in the US, they're very like concerned with making their stuff available to people in the States. So like you can go on like their YouTube channel or Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, and all of their songs are available.
Really? So whole catalog.
Like stuff that you can't even buy on CD, like early release stuff. It's all online now.
Okay. You're bringing back memories of 2005 for me. That's actually the first time I heard m-flo, and hearing what Taku did there. It was that ever so lovely song "Miss You," where they featured Melody and Ryohei. And I remember it because it was set to a Street Fighter 3 Third Strike combo video. Go figure. But
that's awesome.
Oh yeah. So I do see Wesley Saxon, who's asking what did I miss so far in the show? You've missed absolutely nothing if you've been here, because we are talking with Eddie from OTAQUEST, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Relentless Weebs. If you have not done so already, make sure you've shared out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any sort of social media, Snapchat. If you have a Vero still, first of all, what are you doing? Zanga or
LiveJournal.
LiveJournal, yeah.
LiveJournal's still around.
Also, Gaia Online.
All right, we'd like to
Neopets.
Neopets, yeah.
That's the
There's
one.
going to be a party in San Diego in the end of June for Neopets. It's going to be like a rager, too.
That's like impressive.
Yeah.
I have friends who still play Neopets for like the stock market like aspect of the game.
The economy has expanded in very, very much since we were younger. So like I logged on after 10 years and I just...
Oh, is this like a Futurama kind of thing? Like we're Fry like 5 million years in the future?
Right. So, I also see a Dustin De Leon and a Jason Poon have just joined us in. So again, folks, if you are in the chat and you have questions actually about OTAQUEST, what it is, what's going down, previous iterations, or even just questions about the music genre, Eddie here is a wellspring of knowledge, and I've had the fortune of knowing him for, God, I've known you for about like 10 years now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's as long as I haven't been on Neopets.
2010 was the first year that we did a party at AX.
That's right.
And so I know that we met prior to that. So it had to have been like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
I was in high school.
Oh yeah, I was freshly out of college, moved back home, but I was somehow traveling U.S. to other conventions. We you guys have, so everybody here has heard some of my awesome my favorite convention stories. To reference that, if you guys are wondering, you've heard me reference a certain Ace in 2010 story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good year.
Oh, that was
very good year.
Yeah. So Brianna is asking in the chat, will you be at AX this year? That's a kind of a weird question. Yeah.
No, we won't be at AX, but we will be in Los Angeles around the same time.
So, yeah, go ahead.
So, I wanted to talk to you because OTAQUEST is actually throwing 2 events on the same night, July 3rd in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yes. So, and they're called OTAQUEST Live and OTAQUEST Kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them has like, well, no, sorry, words are hard. There are 2 different events and 2 different kind of vibes and 2 different types of music, if that makes sense. And one has like Carry Pemu Pemu and everything like that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about both, obviously, because we have an hour.
Yeah.
But Like,
Well, so OTAQUEST Live, we did it last year with Anime Expo, and last year's event kind of was. I mean, part of
I
it.
went. It was really fun.
I'm glad you had a good time. Yeah.
Nice.
People that I talked to seemed to really enjoy it. It was like it was a very hectic event to put.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I got to enjoy m-flo's set, and I didn't get to watch much else. So,
Okay.
Like part of that was like we brought m-flo out to the States for the first time, which was like a huge moment for me as like a longtime fan of theirs, and we had like a lot of club acts out there. It was like Yushie and Teddy Lloyd and Yasutaka Nakata, etc. There was a lot of feedback from people about last year's show.
Okay.
And there were issues with the venue. There were issues with the length, et cetera, et cetera. So this year we decided to move it to the Novo Theater, which is in the same area. And we split it into 2 events so that we can do more of like a concert style thing, which OTAQUEST Live is. And OTAQUEST Live this year, I'm like crazy excited about.
Okay.
Because we've got m-flo, we've got Carrie Pamu Pamu, both have performed in Los Angeles before. I know that there are a ton of people that are excited about them returning. But in addition to that, we have Capsule's first performance in the United States. And like I've been a Capsule fan since like the early 2000s, like back when they were like a Shibuya K outfit and they were doing completely different styles of music. And then in addition to that, we have Crazy Boy and Hiromi Tosaka, who are members of J Soul Brothers. On Daime J Soul Brothers, like it's like the 3rd iteration of J Soul Brothers, and they're members of Exile Tribe, which is like a massive group in Japan. And yeah, they did the Street Fighter 4 theme song, Exile. Yes, same family of people, people behind their music, and so like this is an opportunity. OTAQUEST Live was an opportunity this year to wrangle up like literally some of the biggest acts in Japanese pop music and bring them to Los Angeles in one night. And like I'm just crazy excited about it because in addition to everything else, like you do get to see like Carrie and Capsule perform together in Japan periodically, but it is a rather rare occurrence. So to be able to bring that to Los Angeles is like a really, really special thing. And then OTAQUEST Kickoff is like our after party event. And we're going to have DJ sets from Taku Takahashi, Yasutaka Nakata. Teddy Lloyd is coming out for that. Local DJ Chuck Nunn, who some of you maybe
Chuck
like
Nunn.
Our boy Chuck.
Chuck
He's going to
Nunn.
be playing, and there may or may not be some special guests throughout the night. And we've arranged
Is that a teaser?
maybe. I mean, let's just say that like when all of these entities get together for shows in Japan, there are surprises.
There's always
So like for those of you who like weren't really anticipating it, like there is an opportunity to see some really cool stuff at OTAQUEST.
Oh,
this year.
okay.
And we tried to make OTAQUEST Kickoff like it's like an after party. It kick off the weekend, kick off July 4th.
Right.
Come have a good time, party with us. We're also going to have live painting from this Tokyo-based artist named Hima Kawagoe, which is going to be really cool as well. And we have m-flo's VJ team doing the visuals for the event as well. So the idea is to give like a real Tokyo club scene kind of vibe in Los Angeles for that night.
Wow, it sounds like
there's a lot to unload there.
Yeah. You can go to. Sorry if this is like not allowed, but plug. If you want information on it or to like hear about the artists that are playing, live.otaquest.com has like everybody listed. You can get more information about the shows there.
Okay, that's one totally allowed because thank you for doing my job for me. Two, I needed that link because I'm writing it down. I'm literally scribbling notes furiously. This is just insane.
He's like Deku.
Yeah, you have to be because look, with an event like this, where you've got two events in one, OTAQUEST Live, OTAQUEST Kickoff.
And they're right after each other, right?
Okay.
Yeah, OTAQUEST Live is from 6 to 9 p.m. And then Kickoff starts like right at 10 o'clock, and it's going to run through the rest of the night.
Okay. So it's it's July 3rd at the Novo. And for more information, or I'm guessing you can also get tickets on the site
tickets
too?
are on sale as well, yeah.
Okay, very good. So, folks, if you're wondering, to get all this information out, again, OTAQUEST Live and OTAQUEST Kickoff, a.k.a. spend your July 3rd with OTAQUEST. Learn about some awesome music. Listen to some excellent acts. Some of them are even homegrown here in the U.S.
Chuck Nunn.
Chuck Nunn, right?
Chuck Nunn.
Again, Taku went to school here in Los Angeles.
Boston.
Well, no, Verbal.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm
Verbal
dumb.
went to
I read
school
the
in
wrong
Boston.
article.
No, you're good. Verbal went to school in Boston, and Taku went to Occidental here in Los Angeles.
Beverly Hills, right?
So yeah, and
Okay.
he lived in Sawtell for a little while, so he's like LA local. Like
Okay, so he knows the spot.
he loves coming back out here. So yeah.
Okay, right on. Chubby, please. I keep interrupting you, and I feel
No,
bad.
it's fine. There's a lot to unload. Well, one thing is we love Anime Expo and we love OTAQUEST, so it's very cool that everything's happening in 1 week.
Right.
And then, so I have a couple questions just to kind of like, a lot of people who are watching aren't probably, because you spent like 10 plus years like harvesting the best of the best.
Yeah,
If
I've
that
been
makes
working on
sense.
this for a while now. Yeah.
But I know some people watching might not know exactly everyone you're talking about or even
Yeah.
the contributions, because a lot of people know like Pamu Pamu because like eyeball pants dance around like.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. She's also toured the U.S. a bunch of times.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
So
I really love I love her tours. They're really fun to go to, so I'm excited to see her perform with everybody else.
Yeah.
But I think that's a major thing. Like I can already picture all of my friends like with their pink wigs trying to tear down the Nova because they're so excited for Pamu Pamu.
yeah.
So that's like a big thing. But tied with everybody else, I know that it's the first time that Capsule's going to be here. Capsule is made up of 2 people, and one of them is
Yasutaka Nakata.
yeah, but I'm trying to remember. He helped Carrie start her career. Like he helped.
A
little bit.
Yeah,
Is that
well,
true?
not just a little bit.
Not like not like a little bit, but I'm being like a little bit.
Nakata, so Capsule as a group was something that he started like ages ago as like a Shibuya K group, and it's always been the same 2 members this entire time. And it's like a vocal. Now at this point, it's kind of like a vocal, like electro kind of dance type group.
Right.
And so it's him and Toshiko Koshijima. And like early 2000s, he started producing for Perfume. And he's been their sole producer since like, I want to say like 2003, 2004, like really helped craft their career.
And if you don't know Perfume, they performed at Coachella this year.
Oh,
wow.
They're the first Japanese J-pop band to perform at Coachella.
J-pop.
Yeah,
believe so.
J-pop, yeah.
Yes. And that was like a huge deal for her. I went to the concert in LA 2 days before the Coachella event, and they were like so jazzed for it. But so, Perfume's like really recognizable. He's kind of the one who helped craft their sound over the years and like really kind of helped define what they're doing, along with a team of other amazing people who like do the choreography and the visuals and stuff. God, I can't remember what year it was. It's probably like, it's been a while. Well, anyway.
When Carrie made her debut?
Yeah,
It
so-
was 2011.
Okay, that's
Sorry.
I was thinking
Like
of
2011.
Yeah, I was
She
thinking
knows.
like 2010, 2011 is what I was thinking. So she was a model first, and I don't know how they met, but he basically like encouraged her to get into music, and he has been her sole producer since that time as well. So kind of a lot of the acts that he works with, he likes to kind of like maintain a long-standing relationship, and he doesn't really let other people like produce for them, so to speak.
Right.
That there's like a good creative flow between the 2 of them. So in the case of Carrie, he's been kind of like the second person in her act like this entire time. And in addition to that, he's got his own career producing for like a variety of different acts. Like recently, he did stuff for like Keys in a Eye. He did like a couple of tracks for her, and does a lot of remix work, et cetera, et cetera. So he's like a major name in Japanese music.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So that's like a major part, and he'll be at both of them. He'll be in
Yeah.
Capsule at the live and then in the kickoff too.
Yeah, he'll be performing with Capsule during the live show, and then the after party he'll be doing a solo set, which they're wild. Like he does such a good job with them. So
wow.
yeah.
I think that's really cool because a lot of people don't know that he's really helped bring a lot of like the most popular like J-pop music to the U.S. Because when you think of like J-pop, you think of like Carrie and like bell pants.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think like a major really cool part of what you're doing too is I think that a lot of these artists do go to anime conventions to perform and everything like that because there's really not as much. I'm not.
Well, no, I mean, like, I wouldn't say these artists in particular.
Not these artists. A lot of artists.
Yeah. Well, it's in like the reasoning for that is because it's like there's an overlap. Like people who are into anime, this kind of goes back to why we started OTAQUEST as well. People who are into anime tend to be into Japanese culture in general, Japanese pop culture, etc. So it's a really easy way, especially when you're starting out, to get in and reach a new fan base here in the States, and then use that to springboard your career. I'm not saying that that's a strategy for everybody or anything, but
anime conventions are all encompassing for that type of media.
Yeah, I mean it's like a for better or for worse kind of situation because like they're an amazing place for Japanese entertainment to reach out to a large group of people who are interested in the content in America.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, because they're called anime conventions, a lot of people just shoehorn them in with anime only. So it's like the people who are out there that kind of know better, they're the ones that are really like getting the full breadth of what's going on at a convention most of the time, because they're looking for this additional content.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird. Not weird, but because of that all-encompassing thing. Because I remember the first, I moved to Los Angeles on my birthday, which, like, Shelby Trivia is also Carrie Pemi's birthday. And she was having a concert in Los Angeles that weekend, so I was like, I have to go. So I go, and then I see a bunch of people dressed like Miku standing in the line, and that's not. And I had just moved here from Maine, and that just was like, I understood, but I had to kind of wrap my brain around that concept of like people kind of shoehorn anime with a bunch of like J-pop and all those things.
Right.
And that's kind of something that we're trying to not really change, like, because at the end of the day, it's like your fandom and the way you enjoy things is like solely your experience.
Right.
Everybody does it differently, right? And nobody has the right to tell you that you're doing it wrong. But we're trying to kind of like bring more separation to these things.
Okay.
And allow, like, you know, it's kind of like there are a lot of artists that perform in the States that really only get recognition because maybe they did a song for an anime or for a video game or something.
Right.
And so a lot of their catalog goes like kind of ignored as a result of it because people only like that one particular
they get
song.
that song, yeah.
And so we're just trying to like we talk about anime on OTAQUEST and we do promote it, but we're very curated in what we do, and we want to share like a wider breadth of what's going on in fashion, music, et cetera, et cetera.
It's almost it's an expansion of the culture, not like
I mean, you know, it's not just that. When you say expansion, that's a perfect way to mention it, because not only is it like a way for current fans to find out more about what's going on, but we're trying to create a place where people who are kind of just dipping their toes, like maybe they watch Dragon Ball or Adult Swim or something, we're trying to create a place for people who are just kind of dipping their toes into the culture to find other things that might be of interest to them in relation to the stuff that they already know.
Okay, so we can look at OTAQUEST almost as a giant gateway.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
To bring more Japanese media outside of the anime realm.
Definitely.
Independent from that.
Yeah, I mean, the way we think about it is, especially when you're talking about web media, you have sites like Anime News Network and Kotaku, and like they're doing games in anime already. Like, we're never going to be able to like beat them at their own game kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, like, we've got our feet on the ground in Tokyo. We've got connections to a lot of different creators in music, fashion, anime, etc. And so we're trying to use that, like those tools that we have and that access that we have to provide more to fans in the
Will Miku cosplayers be allowed at OTAQUEST Live and
we would not turn away anybody if they wanted to come. If you want to dress as Miku, by all means.
Good luck, Andy.
I as you can see, my color scheme is apparently almost Miku.
Show them your Slytherin tie.
The green is a little bit too green.
Yeah, it's too green, but apparently.
Oh yeah, you're low key cosplaying Miku right now. This is the closest you've ever gotten to cosplaying
Miku bounding. Yeah. Now I just need a leak, and we're there. Yeah. Miku Stark. That's a hell of a thing here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us again, I see a couple of you who have just jumped in. Jason and Friedman, Jose Shodi Solis, Lena and Wen, and Dustin Azure. Again, folks, you're watching Relentless Weebs, your one-stop shop for all topics anime convention, and anime community related. We're here with Eddie from OTAQUEST. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were at Anime Expo last year, you heard about what an event it was and the amalgamation of culture that it was. Again, OTAQUEST is having another event this year. This time it's its own separate, like standing on its own event. That is July 3rd. That will be at the Novo in downtown Los Angeles. That's at LA Live. Two events that are happening. OTAQUEST Live with artists such as m-flo and Carrie Pamipamu, as well as Capsule, Crazy Boy as well. There's a lot that are going on there, so I will not butcher anybody else's names, but that's again from 6 to 9 p.m. and immediately following OTAQUEST kickoff, where you will hear DJ sets as well as a general vibe. Artists such as Teddy Lloyd and LA's own Chuck Nunn will be spinning as well. And there's
You've performed with Chuck Nunn before.
I have performed with
like,
Chuck Nunn.
Indirectly, like
It's all connected.
Yeah, it's all connected. You're connected
6
to
degrees of separation.
Oh,
6 degrees to m-flo.
Oh my God! What? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested, starting off your July 4th weekend the proper way, again, that's July 3rd. That'll be at the Novo in Los Angeles. Visit live.otaquest.com for tickets and more information. Again, live.otaquest.com for tickets and more information. It's going to be a blast. I can guarantee it. I know how everybody on this team works. Well, at least everybody I know on the team, how they work. And it is nothing short of spectacular. So you do not want to miss this event. Again, July 3rd at the Novo. So again, quick shout outs here to Jeff Burns, Franco DeCalma. Let's see here. Dana Wynn is also saying, I didn't know Miku was a Slytherin. Neither did I. Neil Schaefer says, hello. Gogo Hikaru says, special guest appearance of Hatsune Miku, the creator of Minecraft. Interesting. Also, Masa
I thought she was a Domino's pizza girl.
Right? Masa D. Rodriguez also joined in as well. So again, folks, if you have any questions about OTAQUEST, what it is, we've gone over a little bit of that in the beginning, or if you're curious as to what's bringing it about, or any questions you have in general, just let us know, or let us know that you're here in the chat. Shout it out, and again, share it out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any sort of social media. Get your friends, fight your worst enemy, and once you've beaten them to a merciless pulp, sit them down and say, "Hey, you're watching Relentless Weeps with me, because it's worth it." On that,
that's intense.
I try.
He brought a special monologue for you. He hasn't gone that deep before.
I came up with that. This is literally like right now.
That's amazing, man.
So,
Thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Again, look, if fan reaction to OTAQUEST last year is any indicator, this year's event just sounds to be even more phenomenal. And
I'm just worried about how we're going to top it next year.
So we're already.
It does seem hard, to be honest. Like,
I mean, there are a lot of people that we could bring out, but hope if things go well this year, which I have no reason to believe they won't.
Right.
We do intend to do more of this, so we'll just see where that goes, I guess.
Okay.
So
I will ask a question then, and it is looking a little forward. So assuming everything does go as planned, if not better. If not better, like amazingly, I'm also watching Shelby go between the two of us. This is amazing.
Yeah,
ping ponging. Assuming everything does go on, I am with you. I have absolutely no doubt it will. If that's the case, then next year, and OTAQUEST gets announced again, who's one guest that you would love to see join the lineup?
Well,
can't really say.
I know.
It's so I have my personal feelings on this.
Okay.
My opinions on everything. Like the thing is that I work with other people on this project.
Right.
There's input from everybody.
Right.
I don't know. I'm really digging on Ore-sama lately. Has been fantastic, and I'd love to bring them out sometime.
Okay.
God, there are so many artists. I'd love to bring Tofu Beats to the U.S. at some point.
But
that's really tricky. I don't know. There's so many people. There are so many people. I mean, I would love to kind of dip my toes into the underground idol scene a little bit. Bring somebody like Cyber out, or there's a lot of people that I'd love to see. We talk about them all. If you go on OTAQUEST and you look at our music coverage, you can get a very good idea of the type of people that we would probably bring to a future show if everything works out properly.
Okay. On that note, we actually have a question in the chat from Lena and Wen, who says, who asks, how does OTAQUEST find their talent?
Well, we just listen to a ton of music.
Spotify.
I'm actually not a huge current anime person. When everything's all said and done, and so when we do conventions, I'm more focused on the music and fashion side of things. So the bulk of what I spend my time doing is some Spotify to some degree.
Okay.
Going around on YouTube. I have a lot of friends out in Tokyo who are constantly posting about new music and new acts that are going on. And I spend a lot of my time just listening to different things. And then our chief writer is this guy named Lachlan. He lives out in Tokyo, and he is just always finding amazing talent. And we also have another writer named Patrick St. Michael, and he just is really on top of his stuff. So we have a very strong team of people who just scour Japanese music. And then in addition, like I mentioned earlier, we have Taku involved in everything.
Right.
And Taku runs a radio station called Block FM. It's like an online radio thing. So he is like always on the pulse of what's going on. Like last week he was in LA and we were in his apartment like for an hour with him just being like, you need to listen to this person. You need to listen, like, you check this guy out. Like, like, so, you know, a lot of the stuff that we find is just a matter of like searching for it, going to clubs in Japan. And then in regards to who we book, it's a really long, drawn out process of talking back and forth for many hours about who we think would be the best like pick for what we're doing. And it's not always just like massive acts. Sometimes we want to bring out people who like don't necessarily have the reach in the US, but we feel like would do really well over here or deserve a little bit of extra push. So, yeah.
I have an out of left field question.
Yeah.
Does Taku really like Game of Thrones as much as he's like it looks like he does?
Oh, Taku and I like when Game of Thrones was airing, we would watch it and I would get a phone call 5 minutes later to discuss the episode and come up with theories as to where things are going.
What?
And when we did Anime Central, we had m-flo out for Anime Central the weekend of the final episode.
Oh, yeah.
And we had a Game of Thrones viewing party with some friends in Chicago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Complete with Game of Thrones Oreos. And the White Walker, the Johnny Walker White Walker. Yeah, we busted it out. So Taku loves like American dramas.
Really?
Like, that's not the only one that we talk about. We're both into like we've been watching the Orville lately. We really dig on American Gods, Man in the High Castle.
Oh my gosh!
You know, like, so we and then he's also a big Rick and Morty fan too. So we talk about Rick and Morty a lot as well. So yeah, he's like him and I. Like,
why is Taku my dad?
Yeah, I know. It's like our relationship is very built on our love of like pop culture, both Japanese and the US. So yeah,
right on.
So another thing is, how exactly did you and everyone else like incorporate in your team kind of have your gateway into like caring so much about Japanese media and music and all these things?
I can't speak for the rest of my team because I have no idea how they got into it. To be honest,
right.
For me, when I was really young, I was like 7 or 8 years old. My uncle showed me Akira. And like, you know, it's a little young to be watching that movie, but like my parents are really liberal. They don't care about that kind of stuff. Cool. And so I saw it. I thought the animation was amazing. And like, I'm pretty old, so like not like super old.
I
But
didn't mean to be like,
well,
yes.
no, but I mean it in the sense that like I was around in like the late 80s, early 90s when anime was like impossible to find. I was a member of like fan subgroups that were trading tapes back and forth in the mail, and like for me, like I went from like Akira and then like a handful of shows that my uncle would buy on like VHS, and we'd watch them together, and then. Sci-Fi Network did like the anime, Saturday morning anime stuff, and then like I would wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z on public television, and so that mixed with my love for video games led me. Well, I guess also like I was on the internet when I was like 11, which is like the early 90s, wasteland, and so that led to me just like searching for stuff, and I got into Japanese music in the mid 90s, like variety of older acts and a mix of like mid 90s acts. And as time went on, I started not having time for anime, and music was like always like a big part of my life. And Japanese music, like, you know, I remember first time I heard m-flo was in the late 90s, like right around the time that they debuted. And I would say like them, Ayumi Hamasaki, Hikaru Utada, a handful of like TRF, Dream, Move, like a lot of those artists in the early 90s kept me like really connected to Japanese music. And I just kept listening, and that turned into like discovering the underground scene in Japan. And like I'm also a big music game guy. I love DDR and Beatmania and stuff. Like I'm notorious for me and my roommate had a house like in Anaheim a few years back where we had like 40 arcade machines. And we had like every single music game arcade machine, and I'd throw parties and like have people over for it. So like obviously there was a level of like finding Japanese music through the games as well that like helped me. And that's honestly like where it came from. And like I just love pop culture in general. I'm a huge comic book guy. I love animation, and it's just like I'm not really discriminatory about like where it comes from. I just love media and pop culture. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Andy, can I ask you the same question?
What way? So
like, what was your gateway into like Japanese music and Japanese media and all that stuff?
So
not specifically anime. We've already talked about this at least 48 times.
Actually, so my gateway into Japanese music was Initial D. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because I got in, and my friends wanted to play it, and we were no good at the time, but I was at that really impressionable age of like 14, 15, where and I was ridiculously competitive. So it started with Initial D and getting to play, and I was like, well, if I want to get into this, I want to listen to the music, because if you played on an Initial D machine, you had your selection of whatever Eurobeat track you wanted to listen to, but then also it was Move, because Move was just so much fun to listen to. I mean, our whole tradition for going to Initial D on Friday night, the last song we listened to before we got out of the car to go play was Gamble Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Such a good track.
Yeah. Because that was just the intro to Initial D third stage of the movie. And then the ending song we would always listen to would be like Forever Young by Symbol. There were traditions we all had. But then, you started diving in more, and I believe it or not, was listening to Move today. I'm not gonna.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was at work, and I was like, I need to stay awake. Which, if you guys are curious, if you listen to Move, you will wake up. I'm not going to lie. Dogfight is arguably one of my most favorite tracks, and so is Blast My Desire. But that's just me nerding out now. I am going to jump into the chat really quick. First of all, Lena is saying, yes, DDR music was the best. I also see Scott Gerson and Anthony Ferranda were in the chat just now. What's up to both of you? Two questions here. I'm going to go into the first one. Lena asks, if you can take OTAQUEST to another city, what's on your wish list? Or
we have several cities that we're aiming for.
Okay.
We kind of did Chicago with Anime Central this year because like last minute. So Anime Central, every year I've been doing a party for like 12 years now, and that's where I kind of got my start in bringing Japanese music to the States. This year, there were some things that happened that led to my other company, Attack the Music, not being able to really throw the party. So we got together with our partners in Japan.
Yeah.
We got m-flo to come out, Moe Shop, Tanuki, Android 52, and some local friends play, Snack Attack. And yeah, that was like cool. So Chicago was on my list. We kind of did that this year. Hopefully we could do something bigger next year. But New York, like New York City, somewhere in Texas would be awesome. But I don't really know where. And I'd love to do like Seattle and maybe like Orlando.
Okay. Well, Seattle and Orlando.
Seattle's fun.
Yeah, very good. Gogo Hikaru is asking, everybody on the panel, what's your favorite Initial D song? This is a very tough question.
I'm going to take Running the 90s before you guys do.
Damn it.
Night of Fire.
Okay, you took the two classics. I've got to go left field on you guys. Forever Young is actually my favorite.
Oh, it's a great. I mean, the thing for me is that like I listened to a lot of Eurobeat for a period of time, and so I actually like forget what songs were in Initial D and what songs weren't, and it all just like runs together because you listen to too many super Eurobeat compilations and you just can't like separate them.
Yeah, after like the fourth hour, you're just like, wait, what track am I? Actually, I'm going to put one more up there. This song is always unsung, but Right Now by the Dark Angels.
Oh yeah, that's a great track. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll never forget that. All my Initial D love for. Oh, okay, I'm nerding out now. I can't talk. Ladies and gentlemen, again, you are watching Relentless Weebs. This is, again, your one-stop shop for all topics anime community, and anything convention-related. Your host, Shelby McWeeb, Andrew J. Landing. We are here with Eddie from OTAQUEST. Again, folks, if you went to Anime Expo last year, 2018, OTAQUEST had their event. It was phenomenal, and they are back again this year as I flip my pages. I literally just got this notebook over the weekend. But again, folks, OTAQUEST has their event going on. And July 3rd, that's at the Novo in downtown Los Angeles. That's at the LA Live area. Again, OTAQUEST Live will happen from 6 to 9 p.m. In fact, tickets are so fast, so on sale, that Shelby is actually going to go get her tickets right now. But again, OTAQUEST Live from 6 to 9 p.m. Here, awesome acts. m-flo will be there. So will Kyari Pama here. Other acts such as Capsule and Crazy Boy as well.
And
again,
Hiromi Tosaka.
Hiromi Tosaka. I had that written down, and I was so afraid to say because I was like, I don't want to butcher this.
Tosaka.
I don't want to butcher this. And then right after OTAQUEST Live, OTAQUEST Kickoff will happen. That is a giant, great party to step up and again start your weekend, your July 4th weekend, the right way. Popular DJs such as Teddy Lloyd and LA's favorite Chuck Nunn will be there as well. There will be live paintings. Live painting.
Yeah, live painting by Hima Kawagoe. She's like a Tokyo-based artist. So.
Thank you for that, because I was gonna butcher that name anyway. Again, folks, if you are interested, again, something to do before AX, visit live.otaquest.com for tickets and more information. Again, live.otaquest.com. That's where you want to go. Check it out. I'm pretty sure there's a full comprehensive list of who's.
Yeah, there's bios and links and social media and all that nonsense at live.otaquest.com.
Right on. Okay, while Shelby preps her tools here, Jordan.
I brought glow sticks and I forgot about it.
Ah, nice. Jordan Takeya Kalia Felix says Crazy on Emotion is their favorite Initial D song in response to Gogo Hikaru's question. Sabino Kobos is saying hello to everybody. And Lena also chimes in saying Moe Shop was great at Neon District. So Neon District.
Yeah, that was another thing we did with AX a couple of years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Okay.
So you've done that for 2 years with them.
I've done multiple years with them. So,
Yeah.
so in addition to OTAQUEST, I have another company called Attack the Music, and it's a LA-based record label that focuses on Japanese producers, but we have American acts as well. And we do the Connection Party with Anime Expo AX Dance every year.
Yes.
And we did Neon District a couple years ago. And way back in 2010, under our other company name, My DJ So Bad, we did a party with like a bunch of Japanese hardcore DJs. It was like a riot. So.
Oh my gosh, I think I remember that.
Yeah, we did the outdoor stage, and then we took over the Novo as well. Well, at the time, it was the Nokia.
Yeah, the Nokia,
Club Nokia.
I remember that. Oh god, that was so long ago, but it was still so much fun. Oh gosh, so you've had your hand. You've been almost like a cornerstone on this side of community for
Especially EDM.
Especially EDM.
Yeah, it's kind of been the focus for a long time. So.
Yeah, so it's very, very, very well done. Okay, Shelby. So what are with our glow sticks
Part
here?
of it was I forgot until now, but like as a finale, since we're promoting your 2 events, it'll be on July 3rd in Los Angeles at the Novo. I want to go through like the acts and everything to kind of hype them up so people know exactly what they're going to, if that makes sense. Well, they probably already know.
Yeah,
but for maybe those
for the
who
people
are
who are just tuning in.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So one thing, is there anything you want to tell us especially about any of the acts from either show?
So m-flo's celebrating their 20th anniversary this year.
Ooh.
And their actual 20th anniversary of being on a major label in Japan is on July 7th, which is just a few days after our event.
Oh, wow.
They are releasing a new EP soon, and they've got an album in the works, so you may or may not hear some new stuff that hasn't been performed before at the show, or rather has only been performed a couple of times. So yeah, I'm super excited for m-flo's appearance there. Hiromi Tosaka just did the theme song for the new Detective Conan movie, and he's got like his first solo album came out recently, so that was amazing. I'm really excited to see him. Let's see, Carrie just dropped a new single recently, which is amazing, and I'm excited to see her perform that along with stuff from her newest album, which came out after she toured in the U.S. last time. So this will be the first time she'll perform any of those songs in the States.
Okay.
And Capsule, it's their first time in America. I'm like crazy excited about that. Like bringing Capsule to the US is something I've been trying to get done for like 5 or 6 years.
Really?
Yeah. So like getting them out here for this year's show is like a massive deal for me.
Oh, okay.
So really, really excited about that. And then Crazy Boy as well. Like he's just, I don't even know how to describe him. We had him play at our show. We did OTAQUEST Live in Osaka in December, and his performance was just insane. There's so much energy and so much attitude in it, and like it's just really like, I don't know, you have to see it to believe it kind of thing. So,
this seems like a kind of a dumb question, but I'm gonna ask it for the sake of asking, but I am genuinely curious. What's the difference like between the crowds out here when OTAQUEST plays versus when you're playing back, when it's all back in Japan?
Man, that's a tough one. So it depends on the type of venue that we're in.
Okay.
If it's a club type thing, I think people in the US get like way more wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just part of the club culture.
Okay.
You know, Japan had this like cultural thing for a long time where like dancing was outlawed.
Oh.
And so, you know, the vibe inside, there was still a lot of energy and people were really feeling it, but like they don't go off the way that people go off in the States.
Okay.
So I'd say like events in the US are just like off the charts.
Okay.
Like just even like last year's OTAQUEST Live, like everything was seated, which we thought was really going to kill the vibe, and people like lost their minds.
No
it was
way.
so really good.
Okay.
Whereas like, you know, Osaka, there's a lot of energy and people were really into it, and there was a lot of love, but it's just, I don't know, cultural difference, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
I heard that a lot from I interviewed Ina Aba from Bang Dream, and she said the same thing. Like a lot of it's more common for people to kind of like go off the rails here, if that makes sense.
I mean, like Japan, people tend to be like a little bit more reserved and keep to themselves in general anyway. So I think that kind of plays into it a little bit as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is funny because I think weebs generally keep to themselves in like real life, if that makes sense. But when they go to these things, they go crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's like you just let it all out.
Have you seen an anime raid with high schoolers?
Yeah.
Get an excuse to go for it.
I mean, basically,
Yeah,
you're in a room full of people that like share the same interests and have the same kind of mentality. And at the end of the day, it's like a safe space for people.
It really
That's
is. Yeah.
really the big thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get it. I mean, all conventions are like that. They're amazing.
Let's see. Roger Lee has just joined us. Roger, thanks for tuning in again, folks. Again, it's Relentless Weebs. We're here with Eddie from OTAQUEST, your host Shelby McWeeb and Andrew J. Alandi. If you haven't done so already, make sure take a moment to like our broadcasting page, Bombshell Media, and our group Relentless Weebs. We are on Facebook as well. Great community of people. A lot of fun stuff being posted in there. But hey, come and meet your friends, your Relentless Weebs. There, just a quick plug there. And again,
Glow stick
folks,
ASMR.
there's a glow stick ASMR apparently, which is happening there.
Do you like yellow, orange, or green?
I'm gonna go with green. I think.
Nice. You gave me red automatic.
You like red.
I do like red. I'm not gonna lie. It is my favorite
It's a
color.
good color.
So, and Shelby gets the rest of the rainbow.
I'm in the middle. I'm the center.
Yes, everything revolves around Shelby. I get it.
That's an idle joke.
Oh, I wouldn't know these things. Maybe I should probably go to OTAQUEST and learn more, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Good plug.
I try.
A couple of things. So I have a couple of like interesting facts about your lineup at OTAQUEST Live and OTAQUEST Kickoff. Hiromi Tosaka is also an actor.
Yeah, he is. A lot of the guys that are in like the Exile tribe do acting as well. They do like movies and dramas, TV dramas.
Oh,
I couldn't tell you like what he's been in, but he's had some like pretty major roles.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
does. It's like a lot of drama work, and I think he's done a couple of films as well.
Okay.
He was actually in the film Hot Rod in 2014.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
What?
Would you know Hot Rod?
I'm aware of that movie, but what?
Oh, we fell in the gaps. I don't know what Hot Rod is, but I know who he is. Carrie Pemu, Teddy Lloyd, and both members of Capsule got their start when they were teenagers.
They did, yeah. Carrie was really young when she started with it. And then Teddy was, I think, like 18 when he first started getting into music. And I don't even know how old Nakata and Toshiko were when they got into it. But yeah, it's been...
They're all around like 17, I guess.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yep.
I'm just like, sorry, I don't mean to make it sound like a checklist.
Another really interesting fact about Teddy and his career was he reached out to Taku on MySpace and sent him demos, and that indirectly led to, or kind of directly led to him being involved in the Panty and Stocking song.
Rest in peace, MySpace.
Yeah.
It's still alive?
I mean, kind of.
So MySpace got everything taken, got all the music taken down and everything like that for the past like 20
I mean, just because
years.
the site is up doesn't mean that it's alive.
I didn't say it was well. I just said it was alive.
There was a big headline a while ago that I guess like a lot of the music from the past 20 years all get taken down.
They had like a server issue and they just lost a ton of data, and that's what it was. It wasn't like it was taken down because someone said it had to go. They just like lost it. So
that's what happens when you don't pay your bills.
That's a really big thing to lose.
Yeah,
by the way. It's like
20 years of content.
Yeah, thanks guys, appreciate it. But at least all my cringy photos are still in my mind. I don't know. Most of them are gone. I'm not gonna lie.
I saved all mine on a hard drive, including like my dance cover to the Hara Hara Yukai.
Oh.
We already covered this, but two of the members of m-flo actually used to live in the United States.
Yep. Yeah. Verbal went to college in Boston for business, and then later was going to seminary to become a pastor.
Really?
And then ended up back in Japan, and the music stuff kind of started blowing up. And Taku went to Occidental for physics because he wanted to build a roller coaster.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm pretty sure that the dude on Jeopardy didn't know that. He lost.
I've done recent interviews with them, and we covered all this stuff because I love to ask them little like digs at like their past. And, like, we did this thing at ASEN where we did like a really deep dive panel, and I was asking like, so you guys went to school together when you were in like elementary school. how did you become friends? And like had them like really dig back. So that'll be going online, I think, soon. We're gonna upload that whole interview, so that'll be really cool.
Will that be on the OTAQUEST website?
It'll be on the YouTube channel at least, probably on the website as well.
Okay.
OTAQUEST.com.
Okay.
Another cool thing is like Carrie Pamu. Am I saying it right? I'm saying it right.
Carrie Pamu.
Carrie Pamu.
Carrie,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I
World.
mean it's the way she spells it, but it's meant to be like Carrie, like the English.
I see
name,
it. Yeah,
Carrie.
that makes sense.
That was one of the things. She got the name from the English Carrie. That's how she got her stage
Yeah,
name.
everybody in Japan just calls her Carrie. Like that's
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So yeah, she's Carrie.
Okay.
Yep.
And then she got her start as a fashion blogger.
Yeah, and she also did like modeling for like fashion magazines in Japan as well. And that's how she got hooked up with the Sobi system, which led to the Nakata thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have a really cool fact about each of the acts? I can, if you can't think of it, if you're putting you on the spot, then I can totally like fill in from this.
I wouldn't call myself like an expert on all.
Not like
of them,
not
really,
like cool facts, but can you say like a cool musical track, like some
Oh,
cool
yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
like what's his favorite color?
Well,
what's
so-
Capsule's favorite color?
So, well, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, that Taku has like an online radio station called Block FM, which is amazing. He does a show every Friday night called TCY Radio, where he like just shows off new music and talks about what's going on in the clubs in Japan. So I'd check that out. m-flo just dropped a new single called Starstruck, and it's got like total Max Headroom vibes going on with it, and it's like amazing. So you should totally check it out.
That's such a reference.
Yeah, and it's on purpose too. Like it dropped while Taku was in LA, and I was like, "Is it purposely supposed to be Max Headroom?" And he was like, "Yes." Like we went full out. They've even got the fiberglass suits and everything. It's like full on Max Headroom.
Such a reference.
Teddy, if you're not familiar with his newest release, he did a track with Virtual Riot, which is pretty huge because Virtual Riot's like a major name in music. I mentioned Carrie already dropped like a couple of new. She had a new album come out last year. If you haven't heard it yet, definitely go check it out. And then she just dropped a new single like May 10th or something like that, and the song's fantastic. And the music video has her turn into a Virtua Fighter character, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Capsule is Capsule, and they do lots of cool stuff, and you should check out their music. Can I call on Nick? real quick?
You actually
what Capsule song should we suggest to them to listen? No, that's Carrie was in John Wick 3. Jumper is a track that I love by Capsule. It's kind of a classic track. And like Wave Runner, their album is available on iTunes. Yeah, it's the prototype perfume in a way. Yeah. If you like perfume, you would very much like Capsule. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then Tosaka, I already mentioned, did the Blue Sapphire, the theme song to the newest Detective Conan movie. Crazy Boy did a track with the group called PKCs last year that featured Snoop Dogg on it called Bow Down. And it's like, the music video is crazy. The music video is produced by 88 Rising, and it's just like absolutely ridiculous. Nakata just dropped a new single called Pico Pico Tokyo with a vocalist named Momo Mashiro, and I highly recommend checking it out. It's super cool.
Chuck Nunn dropped a music video.
He did
And
for
I'm
a song
in it.
called Dingus.
Yeah.
You are in it.
You're in it too. What?
Yeah. And I mean, like, yeah, Chuck's great. Like he's doing like a lot of really cool stuff. He's got a remix of Face My Fears that like charted on iTunes, which is like crazy. He's really good. Like if you're an LA local, like definitely look him up. Who did I go over? I don't think I've missed anybody, have I? Oh, Taku. Well, yeah, Taku I talked about his radio station. Taku doesn't do a lot of like solo production, does remix work from time to time. But like really definitely check out his online radio station. It's Friday night Japan time, so that's probably like trying to think of what time that would be. It'd be like early morning.
It's like
Friday.
early morning.
It's like early morning Friday US time. But this show is called TCY Radio. The station website is block.fm, and you can actually listen to the episodes after the fact. They're always streaming. So like if you're looking for like cool new music that's going on in like the Tokyo club scene, it's like the #1 source for it. So I definitely go recommend checking that out.
All right, right on. Well, we are headed towards the end of our show, and I will say that I didn't even realize we were at this point. So
Yeah, it went by really quick.
We can probably go for another like 5 minutes since we started late.
we're totally gonna go for another 5 minutes since we started late because you just said so.
I'm in charge. I have the glow sticks.
Shelby has the most glow sticks, therefore she is in charge.
They shut the power off on us, but we can still see because there's glow sticks.
We're glowing. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Oh yeah,
Lisa?
yeah. m-flo. Well, for those of you who aren't familiar, if you know m-flo from the m-flo Love Stuff, then you know it to be Verbal and Taku. But Lisa, who was
Yeah.
one of the original members, recently rejoined the band
Yeah.
as of last year.
Oh.
So for their show last year, they all performed together, and it was right after they got back together. They are still doing stuff together. They are going super strong, and all three of them will be performing together at OTAQUEST Live in July as well.
Okay. So it's gonna be quite a gas. Yeah.
Out of everyone who's going, how many of them is it their first time in the U.S.?
Three of them. Well, three of them, because Nakata doesn't really count because we had him last year. Hiromi Tosaka has never performed in the U.S. Crazy Boy's never performed in the U.S. And Toshiko has never performed in the U.S. Capsule's performed outside of outside of Japan before, but they've never performed in the U.S. So it's their first performance in the States.
So most of OTAQUEST Live.
Yeah, well, so we get a lot of comments about the lineup because people really liked who we brought out last year, and I think I've seen people be like, "Man, it's too bad that Yushie isn't back like 20 times."
Yeah.
And like, I love Yushie to death; she's amazing, and we've brought her out to several shows in Chicago and Los Angeles. But we want to try to mix it up and introduce new people as well. So this year, OTAQUEST Kickoff is really just meant to be like a simple kind of after party thing, like just come have fun. It's not as intended to be like an introduction to the music. It's supposed to be bringing the Tokyo club scene to the States. Of course, that lineup might be different next year. We've talked about like trying to bring out acts like You Know Me to the States, and You Know Me's like blowing the fuck up in America right now. But there's so many people that came last year that we would love to have come back out, but limited time,
Right.
limited resources, and we decided that in addition to some of the repeat artists, it's really important to bring back new music and introduce people to new artists as well. So if there's somebody that we've brought out before that you want to see again, don't count that out.
Right.
It's just, this year we decided to bring more new people than focus on people we had last year.
Oh yeah, it's this isn't just a one-off event. It's gonna keep happening.
Absolutely,
And,
that's the intention at least.
right. And
so, and we are looking in other cities and other states as well. So it's not just going to be confined to Los Angeles either.
right, you've mentioned a plethora of other cities. Some cities we would you'd like to see OTAQUEST hit too. So
Oh yeah.
Is there an event? I know you've mentioned cities, but is there an event you'd like to see OTAQUEST travel to?
Well, so we're doing conventions here and there. It kind of just depends on the circumstance. Anime Central, they've been friends of ours for years, so obviously we're going to do stuff with them.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't think we really have any events in mind that we're specifically like we really want to do something there. I can't really. We are going to more events this year. I can't announce what events those are yet.
Not yet.
But I wouldn't say. I'm more concerned about getting out to people than I am going to.
Very good.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess if you could expect anything, not anything, that's a way too broad a solution.
Right.
If you could expect a realistic thing to happen after OTAQUEST this year because of OTAQUEST, or if enough people go to and enjoy and promote OTAQUEST, what's your hope for like the next 5 years?
Oh man, we have so many things like already in the works. Man, we've already expanded like so much in the past year. So we're planning to do more events in Japan. I think we have something lined up in August in Tokyo. I don't know. I maybe at some point do like our own convention.
I was about to ask.
Kind of crazy.
When are we gonna see OTAQUEST?
Like I mean,
OTAQUEST
let's just say there's definitely been like pipe dream talks about it internally, but of course, like we're happy working with people currently, and what we do differently really is that we're not focused on specifically anime or like kind of what traditional culture that people in America know from Japan.
Right.
We're really trying to like bring more light to the underground stuff, the subculture type stuff, in addition to the mainstream pop culture. So I would love to do something that's like maybe if we were ever able to make this happen, I would love to do something like Complex Con meets Anime Expo kind of thing, where you have like a mix of these two different types of cultures coming in one place.
I think that's a really cool idea because I really love anime conventions, and I've been really lucky that I've been able to work at so many anime conventions in like the past 2 years because I think they're really great and it's really fun, and you can see so many types of like media in general, not just Japanese media, but just all media in general. But I am tired of watching bakugos make out with each other who are 16,
I mean,
and I want an adult convention for these things.
I mean, my thing is like
no offense to the bakugos who do
Yeah.
make out, like you're adorable, but like I cannot. There's like a level of I can't do it for much longer. If that makes
My
sense.
thing about it really is just like I want to bring different content to the States. And I mean, I've been talking to and I've worked with so many conventions throughout the years. I have like a lot of different ideas of programming that I'd love to see come not only to our own event but other conventions as well. And I mean, hopefully we can make that happen. Fashion is a really big thing for me, and we cover a good amount of fashion on the website as well. And we're launching a brands in a few months, and we've got a bunch of other stuff happening. So I'd love to do something different than the traditional anime fashion show that you see at every convention, because I think the runway concept's a little bit tired, and it doesn't, it's always focused on specifically Lolita and Visual K and maybe like the Harajuku brands, and there's nothing wrong with that, but like let's get some of that streetwear flavor coming in. There are so many influential streetwear brands from Japan and like high fashion brands and stuff. I'd love to see more of that get highlighted in America as well.
That's definitely a concern that's been mirrored or mimicked by a lot of my friends. My friends run the page Harajuku Day, and they run a lot of like J fashion meetups, and they have kind of expressed like a concern. Like there are some conventions, like I guess like SakuraCon and Teko and like Anime Boston and kind of Anime Expo, and like PMX was really good at that too. That kind of incorporated J fashion, but there's not really a lot.
Well, I mean,
for J fashion, if that makes sense.
but I mean, like again, also like those conventions as well, because I've done fashion stuff at Anime Expo and a couple other conventions also, and again, it's the same thing. It's kind of just like not really always the same brands, but it's very often the same styles, and
not a lot to do socially, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and so like kind of what I have in mind is to like mix it up a bit more.
Right.
It's like I love all facets of fashion. There's some things that I'm personally not into, but I appreciate other people's enthusiasm for it, I guess is the best way to put it. But I think that there's room for more contemporary brands to make their way into the States. Like there's this brand out of Nakano that I absolutely love called Thunderbox. That does kind of like nerdy video game inspired type stuff, but their designs are very streetwear. This jacket that I'm wearing is a Thunderbox jacket.
I can see.
And so I would love to bring them out at some point, or like the former lead designer of Galaxy, he has a brand called News, Nuezzz, and they've been kind of coming to some conventions in the States lately, but I'd love to see him get more of a spotlight as well, because his design concepts are just like out of this world. They're so cool.
Yeah, 2 of my friends were models for that.
Oh yeah, they did like AniFest earlier this year, right? Or
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway,
they've done a few things, but I mean, there's a lot of other brands. Rolling Cradle's another one that I really dig. Park Harajuku has like their own brands that are really amazing. Cloma is like a high fashion brand. There's a lot of like Japanese fashion that's really just not represented in the States that I'd love to try to change that up.
Well, OTAQUEST is indeed paving the way. So again, the gateway and helping expand the corners of media that we aren't normally seeing. We're given sort of a filtered level of all the media that we get. So it's nice to see somebody actually reaching out and giving the darker, the I don't want to say darker corners,
it's like
but
underground.
Underground,
I mean, we have this appreciation for deep Tokyo. Kind of what we talk about
very
internally, and like one of my favorite things to do when I go out there, or whenever I'm out there, I should say, is to just like explore. Like I'll just go get lost in a city and I'll look around until I find something cool, and I love to do that out there. So
nice.
You ever been to?
I have, yes. I went in 2017. I went for a Street Fighter 3 Third Strike tournament. Also, my friend was saving me from a really bad time over here in the States.
What a fun buddy comedy movie. Just take her to Japan.
But I will say this: that trip to Japan did change my life, and like you said,
now you're here.
And now I'm here, the host of Relentless Sweeps. Yeah, like getting lost in Harajuku was that was
back
amazing.
Alleys are amazing back there. I mean, the thing about like going to Tokyo too, and it's another aspect of like what we want to do, and hopefully we'll be getting into it pretty soon. Is people in America, when they go over to visit, they have like their normal things,
their idea.
And those things are fine. Like everybody go do what you want to do, but like I would love to give people a list of like just off the beaten path type stuff that they wouldn't really know about. Like people go over there and it's like They know Robot Restaurant. They know Kawaii Monster Cafe. They know Akiba. They know like Takeshita Street and like Harajuku. But then on the flip side, there are places like Nakano and Koenji and Kichijoji, and they're like really cool restaurants that like. There's this udon place called Yashima in Shibuya that is like the interior decoration is amazing. The food is super good, and it's so hidden that if you don't know it's there, you'll just never stumble into it. Okay. But it's like really famous, and it's the type of place that like more Americans should check it out because it's really cool.
I feel that.
So we want to start doing a little bit of that as well. We're gonna start doing video content soon, and when we do that, again, being on the ground out in Tokyo, we'll have a team kind of like picking and choosing those like spots. And
there was a place I went when I went my last night in Tokyo. Both my roommates got sick. They came down with colds and were unable to go. And I was like, I'm not ending my night like this. I'm not ending it in the house, and I don't want to catch what you guys got. So I ended up going across the street from my like Airbnb, and it was in Shibuya. Like, was it Shibuya or somewhere around there? And it was this place, little hole in the wall called Orb. Like, and you had to go down the stairs in the building to go.
Oh, those are the best places.
And it was like maybe 2 a.m. People are like, there's just a couple of people there, but I actually was able to go live there, and we played like live. I played live music with their house band.
Oh, that's so rad.
They were just like, yeah, you sing, you play piano, like let's play a little bit. We can't be too loud because there's people living above us, but it was like the perfect ending to a Tokyo trip.
Yeah, and there are like tons of places too. Again, just going off the beaten path. There are tons of places too where like the patrons are super friendly. I have a couple of bars that I kind of keep to myself because I don't want to go over there and have them be overrun by people. But like I have a couple of bars that I like to hang out at that like just the people that work there are super friendly, and the vibe is so chill, and it's the kind of place where salarymen go after they get off work, and they just like they relive their past. Like that's all I'll really say about them. But I love going to those spots and just hanging out, and everybody's super nice, and you get along there like really well. And my experience is that when you go into those types of places, they're always really welcoming, and they love to meet foreigners and people who speak English and just like have a good time together.
They love to hear your story.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the best way to put it. W, have you been or?
I'm trying to. If I go through all the U.S. conventions, it'll unlock Japan. It's like downloadable content.
Nice.
It's like the RPG. The RPG.
I have to go through all the English ones before Japan unlocks.
Before you can get
it's just blacked out right now for me.
Why don't you just enter like the Konami code and like jump over there?
It's paid downloadable content.
Wow,
I have to pay $5.99 for the option.
Oh gosh.
Is this an EA RPG? What's going on?
Well, on that note, we did go over the 5 minutes, but it was totally well worth it. Eddie, thank you so much again for joining us here.
It's a great time. Thanks for inviting me.
Can you tell us? Okay, again, we have live.otaquest.com. That is where to go for tickets and more info. Any other places where we should be following, subscribing?
On Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, OTAQUEST, and OTAQUEST.com, our website. We do like daily news and articles and interviews and all sorts of stuff. So you can find everything that we're doing there.
Right on. Shelby, what should we be following?
You can follow me at Shelby McWeave on Instagram, Shelby McWeave on Twitter, and Shelby and Bombshell. No, not this again. Bombshell Media on Facebook or Relentless Weaves on Facebook.
Okay.
Both the group and the page.
Very good. And again, folks, my name is Andrew J. Landy. Follow me at Andrew J. Landy on Instagram and Twitter. One last shout out to Anime Impulse. Thank you so much for allowing us use of your studio and generally being an awesome con as well. Folks, again, this has been your weekly dose of Relentless Weaves. Again, tune in next week, Tuesday, 7:30 Pacific time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And above all else, stay classy, and we'll see you next time. Take care and have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Before we go, my grandmother passed away today. Give like a tribute to her. I'm really happy that she was able to experience so much in her life, and I'm